to just imagine how different things would have been if the Liberal left had remained in power over the past 3 years. Imagine the bloated bureaucracy their daycare program would have spawned, and of course how little daycare it would have delivered. Imagine the stance Canada would have taken when Hezbollah and Hamas terrorists attacked Israel. I'm not talking, when I say that, by the way, I'm not talking about the reality of a minority parliament. I would never use parliament and reality in the same sentence. That the opposition, that toxic coalition brew, of liberals, socialists, and separatists. I've always wished they would do that, and Dion finally did it. Don't let anybody tell you they would have done the same thing. It's very clear what they would have done. They would not have brought in any tax reduction at all. They said so. They didn't tell you the taxes they would raise. We're seeing that in the States now. But they wouldn't have brought in any tax reductions at all. Their spending plans would have been permanent, not temporary. That spending would have gone mainly to left-wing special interest groups, not to long-term purposes, not to ordinary, hard-working Canadian families and communities. Friends, do not forget that Conservatives being in power has made an enormous difference. That now some of them are saying they don't like that this government money may limit their freedom. So I say again, my friends, to Conservatives, it cannot be just about freedom. It must be about policies that help ensure freedom will lead to good choices, to responsible choices in the economy, to prosperous choices with wider benefits to all of us. Now, friends, I am not here to tell you that everything we are doing as a government is perfect. We are operating in a very difficult political and economic environment. Options are limited. Risk is everywhere in everything we are doing. But I can tell you the following, that we are on the right track, that the other guys would take us off that track, and that we can stay on the right track if we continue to work together. We as Conservatives inherit an incredible legacy. Never forget, you would forget this sometimes listening to the CBC, that it was Conservatives who created our Confederation, one of the most lasting political democratic arrangements in history. In my grandparents' era, under Winston Churchill, Conservatives rallied the world against fascism. In my parents', under leaders like Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher, Conservatives brought down the Iron Curtain, and in our generation, we have united Canadian Conservatives under one roof and brought down an entrenched Liberal Party that was deemed an unstoppable juggernaut just 5 years ago. Now, as I said at the outset, we find ourselves in office faced with great economic challenges, with instability in world markets unseen in 80 years. But as all previous crises have shown, it is only conservatism rooted in enduring values and guided by real-world experience that will allow us to deal with those challenges. And with your help, I have no doubt we will succeed. I want to thank you once again for having me tonight. I wish you all the best on your conference. Merci beaucoup. God bless your work. God bless Canada.